Hey guys, I would like to talk to you today about ServiceOps, which is a new initiative that is coming from BMC. It's not actually from BMC. It's a term that Gartner started using in 2022, and that BMC looked at and said, we've been doing that for quite a while, and actually this is what BMC's Helix is mostly about, and we have actually a great advantage. So, what is ServiceOps all about? So let's start with explaining why the organization needs ServiceOps. So everyone now understand that digital transformation is a key initiative. It's a way for businesses. It's an initiative story because businesses want to increase their revenues, optimize resources, retain customers, improve profitability, and they understand that working in the way they used to work in the past is not enough in order to uh, um, remain relevant in the market and in order to keep increasing your revenues. What is digital transformation all about? So in a way, it's a lot about modernization of the way you are running your business process, whether it's the existing business process or the new ones. It's modernization of the way your economics works. For example, starting to consume new SaaS services and cloud services in general. And consuming new services is not just changing the economics, it is changing the pace and the capabilities. I mean, the pace is becoming much faster because you don't need to wait for hardware to be installed, and you can start consuming new services from like in 5 minutes. But it is also about consuming services that exist only on the cloud. For example, machine learning capabilities or ML that are in huge scales in the cloud and provide you capabilities that you can actually never dream of when you talk about the on-prem systems. But it is also about changing or modernizing the collaboration between the line of businesses and between different people in the organization. Because eventually, if you want to run faster and innovate faster, so like BMC says, you want to run and reinvent, right? Because you want to reinvent fast, but you need to be able then to support that. You need to be able to operate that. Because if those services are not up and running, so the fact that you're running very, very fast and creating new services very, very fast is not enough. It is actually going to be a big pain, and eventually it could be the reason for the failure of their organization. BMC believe that doing this digital transformation is actually not possible unless you modernize your service and operations. And most of the competition will tell you, yeah, we are doing that. We will provide you the best IDSM system, or we will provide you the best monitoring system, or best capacity management system, or the best automation system. But at the same time, it's not a big deal to connect them. You can use those APIs, and for example, whenever you have a monitoring problem on your mainframes, or whenever you have a problem on your control M, for example, no issues, no worries. You can always open a ticket in the ServiceNow IDSM, for example, or in the Remedy IDSM or whatever, and this is just enough. So you don't really need to combine those two. But Gartner, when they look at that, they say, that the paramount, I mean, the key, one of the key challenges of becoming a digital enterprise is actually being able to resolve issues much faster. As I said before, it's not enough to innovate fast. You also need to be able to support that. And in order to do that, you need to assure that those services that you have provided are up and running always. They're always up and running. And in order to do that, what says is that you can use the advantage of AI and automation in order to remove the barrier between those different silos, between the operations and between the service management. And by doing that, you will be actually more ready to I mean, let's say you will be able to support the digital transformation much better, and you will be able to be ready faster to adopt new services without affecting the availability, for example, or the performance of your existing services. So why is BMC the player or the right solution for doing that? So first of all, BMC has actually been doing that for a while. Even before Gartner started using the term service ops, BMC have been doing that. because we actually have one platform that is doing the best ITSM in the world and the best operation solutions in the world, whether those would be the Helix operation management, whether those would be the Control M solutions, whether that would be the SecOps solution, whether that would be the mainframe solutions. All of them are actually, top leaders on Gartner and any other analyst. But I think the key is that now Helix is bringing, this new platform that is telling you the following: all the data is joined on this new platform. It is no longer about integration. Everything is there. And we are now putting on top of that our AI and machine learning in order to not just tell you how to do better operation management, for example, monitoring, but also to tell you, look, I see some insights happening on your operation management that are actually affecting those customers that are now approaching the service management and telling you that you have issues. And maybe that could be the root cause for this issue. And you know what? Looking back, I can actually see that something happened in the ITSM that is really the root cause. Someone made a change like a week ago or a few hours ago. And after implementing this change, then the operation management started seeing that there are some issues. And then people started to respond and say, guys, the system is not working. So combining, those two worlds, the ITSM world on the one hand, the operation management on the other hand, this is a good example of showing you how AI and ML can tell you, look, I look at the bigger picture and I see the correlation between what is happening on your operation, what is happening on your service management, and now I know to correlate between them in order to tell you what is the root cause faster, in order to tell your customers, look, guys, I know there is a problem. No need to open so many tickets. I know we are already on top of that. And in order to make your guys understand what is the impact of not resolving those issues. But it is more than that. It is also about activating automation tools in order to solve those issues faster and not just tell you that you have a problem, but actually go and solve the root cause much faster. So I guess you know this slide already. You've seen that before, because this is what actually Helix is all about: is taking the, breaking the barrier. Instead of having, a separate item solution, a separate ITSM solution, BMC created the Helix solution, which is the one platform, right? So this one platform is about omni-channel. I mean, people can consume services from everywhere. So let's see how this relates to ServiceOps. So for example, let's say someone wants to open a ticket and he would like to do that from Microsoft Teams, or he would like to do that from Slack, or he would like to do that from the chatbot, or wherever he is, right? He wants to now report an issue. I want to assure that before he opens the ticket, I'm telling him, look, I already know that you have a problem. So I want to report back to him the information that I know that there are some services that are now not running or not functioning too well. Do you still want to open the ticket? Let's go now to the support agent. The support agent now, no, he's working from the ITSM solution, and he understands that he has, those many tickets that are coming into the service center, and they're asking themselves, first question could be, is this the only one that is affected by this problem? How many, such occurrences of this problem do I have? And the fact that the Helix is able to tell you, I know that many people are not talking about a certain service that's not functioning very well. So even if you have tens, dozens, hundreds of support agents, the Helix system will tell you, I know that people are suffering right now in a certain business service that is not functioning too well. So the omnichannel will give this experience of telling you from everywhere, I know what is the problem, I know what is the root cause. So this is one place. And I think that the base foundation for being able to be a ServiceOps solution, as opposed to, by the way, combining service management with operation management, I think the key is discovery. Not every solution in the market actually have this, and even those who have this do not have the depth, capabilities, and experience that BMC is bringing to the table. And it's, this is the fundamental element of Helix, right? BMC Discovery will be able to tell you, I know what is the service, I know exactly what is the system, and by that, Helix is creating, the foundation, the language, and the language is no longer infrastructure. The language is now services, because customers are affected by services. Changes are being done on infrastructure that is affecting services. Operation management is monitoring services. Capacity management is doing services. Everything. This is the most common, language you could create in order to ensure that everyone is speaking the same language. So discovery is the key, and not every solution in the market will have that. And even if they do have this, they will tell you, okay, this is not a big deal because the ITSM have the discovery. For example, let's take ServiceNow as a good example. They have their own discovery, right? Maybe it's good enough for most of the customers or some of the customers, but it is also it exists only on their platform, which is not that good in monitoring, for example, or is not providing capacity optimization capabilities. So what happens next is that the monitoring system is not monitoring those services that ServiceNow is being able to manage. So there you have, the bridge. I mean, you have this barrier that we're not talking the same language. And ServiceOps is a lot about making sure that everyone is talking the same language, and the language that they need to speak is the language of business services. And when we have this discovered, so monitoring will be doing monitoring for infrastructure, but will tell you what is the status of the service, what is affecting the service, what's the root cause for a problem on the service. Service management, the ITSM, will be communicating at the same level. For example, when someone is opening a ticket, in most cases, it will tell you, I have a problem in a certain service. Easy. But when we're doing a change, the system will tell you, what you're doing right now is affecting those services. And furthermore, it will not just tell you that, but from now on, if there is a problem on the monitoring, the guys from the monitoring will know what were the changes that happened on the infrastructure of the business services that is affected. This was a long sentence, but a very important one. So I'll repeat that. There was a change, and this change is affecting a certain service. The monitoring system, the operation management system inside Helix, is aware of the change. Even though it happened on the infrastructure, it will tell you, I know that the change you made, the fix, the patch, the application deployment, whatever you made, I know that was happening on infrastructure that is affecting these business services that I know that is now suffering from performance degradation or from availability issue. So the same would happen for the remediation. I want to solve a problem, for example, let's say on certain elements that are affecting a certain service, or I want to run a workload inside Control M that is not just about running a separate process. It's about running a workload that is eventually affecting, or it is connected to a certain business service. And that would be the last element for now would be the optimization. So the capacity optimization, which is something that I think BMC is the only solution in the market that is able to provide this extent of capacity optimization, not just for storage or virtualization or network. Now, once you talk about ServiceOps, BMC says, I'm able to do capacity optimization for business service, because this is the language, right? We want to communicate in the language of business services. So the fact that business services are in the heart of the solution, it's in the core, this is the fundamental, this is the language, and everything around it is understanding, is a key differentiator and a key value of what ServiceOps is all about. And when you look at it, it is not just about, as I said, operations being able to open a ticket. No, it's much more than that. The fact that we have created this common language is providing us the capability to say, from now on, all the services are being able to communicate on this common language of business services, and the AI and ML will be able to, AI and ML inside Helix understands what is the business service. So now it is able to tell you, okay, I understand now that you have a problem in the operation management. Let's make sure that the users are being notified on that before they open a ticket or before they actually approach the system. Let's proactively inform them that there is a certain problem. The very fact that you're able to inform your customer before they're even approaching you is a big deal if you want to improve the if you want to improve the satisfaction, of the users from working with your systems. Okay, so this is just one example. Is the chatbot will be aware of that. The change management, everything is highly connected and tightly integrated. And another example for that could also be, for example, you don't see any problem in your operation management system, but you do know that something, for example, failed on Control M, and that is going to affect your services, because in about 2 hours from now, people will start realizing that the information is not up to date. So this is another example, and then people will start, opening tickets. So even though the operation management saw nothing, Control M is aware of that, and it will be able to report that. And now, if customers are now starting to report, new incidents, whether that would be from Microsoft Teams, chatbot, the DWPA, whatever, or from the phone, we will be able to inform that we are aware of that. We know what is the key problem, and the guys from Control M, the guys from the operation, the guy who did the patch management, whatever, they are aware of the impact of what they've done, so they can prioritize this accordingly. Okay, so BMC is doing this analogy of service ops in a very, very simplistic way to the neural system. So Helix is like the nervous system. So in a way, you could say that the Helix service management, the ITSM solution, is like the brain, because this is where all the processes are being operated. This is where you're documenting everything that you want to do, and this is where you're making your decisions. And the service operations, which is the monitoring, the Control M solution, the SecOps operation, etc., are, you can say that, like the spinal cord, because this is what is enabling you to see what is happening down there or move your different organs. And the AI and ML will be telling you, okay, I'm able to collect the information and make the decisions. Actually, I don't like this analogy too much. Maybe you would like it, but it's a very simplistic way. The ITSM is the brain, the spinal cord is the operation management, doing the different stuff, and the AI and ML is actually the nerves themselves. So I think we can stop here, but let me end it with this last slide, because it's not just service up is not just a word. It is actually what BMC is doing. So the platform itself, as we said, at the core of the platform, we have the services, we have the discovery. On top of that, we have all different common capabilities, where that would be the machine learning capabilities or the automation capabilities, etc. And I think that the keys around the service ops, the key value, is the service ops workflows, because this is where BMC is telling you, we do not need you to invent anything. We've been doing that. This is what the company is all about. And the great example that we can also demonstrate to customers, I think, is the demonstration of how we have a certain problem in the operation system. For example, we always demonstrate, for example, on a banking service or a media service, and we see that there is a certain problem. The service is not operating that well. It is up and running, but it has degradation in the performance, and we show how we can very fast go and deep dive into the root cause, but really, really fast, and understand, what is the impact and what is the root cause. And the root cause could be, as I said, a change that happened a few hours ago. So even though I'm in the IT operations center and the network operations center, whatever that would be for the organization, the NOC, the ITOC, these guys are aware of what is happening on the ITSM. They are aware of how many tickets are being opened right now, how many major incidents are being managed right now. They do not need to communicate with anyone in order to understand what is the impact of this issue, but they also understand that there has been a change that is the root cause for that. So they can approach the guy who made the change and ask him, what exactly was the change? Because we see that after you made the change, we start seeing degradation in the performance or availability issues. At the same time, let's jump to the ITSM system. So the support agent are also aware of what is happening in the IT operations center. And it is not just based on a ticket that was open. They actually see the root cause in the ITSM, inside the ticket. The very fact that someone opened the ticket and said, I have a problem with the banking system, they immediately see what was the root cause isolated in the operation management and what is now being handled by the ITOC or the NOC team in order to solve this issue. So they do not need to wait or communicate with their friends in order to understand whether anyone is aware of that. But as we said before, also the chatbot, also the MS Teams, Microsoft Teams, and any other channel that people are communicating with the system is now aware of this issue, because we don't need people to start opening tickets and then tell them, yeah, we are aware of that. And you can say on top of that, BMC also have the AISM, which is the AI on top of the service management, which will be able to tell you, I see so many people are talking about the same issue, because I'm analyzing what they're saying and what are the words being used. I know exactly what's the problem. The problem is actually a lot around connectivity issues to the banking system, and it's the same issue actually. So maybe you wish to manage that as just one element, one ticket, instead of having hundreds of tickets open by different users. And once this ticket is being solved, we will inform all those users. And at the same time, also the dashboarding for the managers will show the same picture. They will be able to see from one screen what is the total status of the service, the whole status. What is the availability status? How many tickets are open? How many changes occurred? How many problems are under investigation? And so on and so forth. Okay, so this is, I think, a very good example. We can demonstrate that. It illustrates that, because I think that once you see that in real life, it makes it really easy to understand what is this all about and what is the value behind this and why BMC is so different and unique and has value that no other competitor in the market is currently able to provide. So I hope that was valuable, and thank you for your time.